Okay, so first I picked up Robbie, a corporate lawyer from Menlo Park, UCLA graduate. He went out with his co-workers after work last night and I think got pretty drunk, so he took a Lyft home and needed a Lyft back to his car. He just turned 40, is kind of down about it, not in a relationship. I asked him about online dating. He said he's dipping his toes in but is working too hard. But he also admitted he's working too hard. He's sort of a workaholic and is maybe hiding behind that instead of throwing himself out there. So I told him he has to get out and play the game. Then I picked up Adam from an Equinox gym in Santa Monica. He really smelled like a right guard. I don't know. Pretty buff dude, wearing a real tight shirt. He didn't really feel like chatting, so we just listened to Good Food on KCRW, which is a great radio show if you don't know it. All right, then I picked up Grant in Hollywood. There's been some parade that stopped him from getting to his buddy's house where his buddy is going to drive him to the beach for the day. He works as an accountant for an interior design company, but also does graphic work on the side and gave me his business card in case I ever need any visual graphics. If you need any graphic work done, let me know and I can put you guys in touch. He also said he spent 6 hours helping a guy make a video at Coffee Bean the other night. Okay, then I picked up two guys in West Hollywood to take them to a pool party in Beverly Hills. Along the way, they were talking about an awesome sounding trip to Europe that's going to take them to Italy and Greece and Paris and other places. There was a lot of talk about some guy named Fabian. It's like 30 guys going and they need to make costumes, and Fabian's the costume guy, but he makes crappy costumes. And so they spent about 15 minutes talking about Fabian's and his costumes and whether they should actually do costumes and order costumes or maybe do costumes without Fabian. Anyways, then we arrived at the party. They almost forgot their beer in my car, which would have been nice, but I was a gentleman and gave them their beer back. So, okay, then I had Jason, who's studying psychology at Pepperdine. He'd had a late night of drinking, so he had to go back to his buddy's place and scoop his car. Then I just dropped off Crystal. Crystal's an amazing woman who grew up in a foster home in South Central Los Angeles, where she's from. Crystal works for a company, I forget what it's called, but they basically bring rental cars directly to your house. She was 21, her fingernails were beautifully decorated, her hair looked amazing. She was a little stressed about what she wants to do with her life. But it sounds like she's going to go to a junior college this fall and study sociology. So, also, she got gum on my floor. Okay, then I did a Lyft line. I picked up a woman, a Persian woman, who grew up in Frankfurt and is at USC studying pre-law. She had, I thought, a really exotic accent, but she said she hates her accent and she wants to try and become more American. I took her to Abercrombie and Fitch in Santa Monica, where she's a cashier, and then I took this other woman who wouldn't take off her headphones. All right, I picked up Glenn in Santa Monica, took him to Pacific Palisades. He is an entrepreneur visiting from Phoenix, Arizona. He said he's had a couple small exits and a medium-sized exit, so he's had some success in the entrepreneurial space. He's currently working on some kind of a way to ID yourself on dating profiles, so that you know that you're not going to get catfished, as he said. And he also said he might join some kind of a startup that's figuring out how to intersect the medical marijuana industry and the Bitcoin industry. All right, I just picked up a physical therapist way out the Pacific Coast Highway. He dropped off his wife and sister-in-law so they could go to the Getty Center out there, and then he's going drinking with his buddies. He spent time in the Navy, was stationed internationally for a while in Central and South America doing humanitarian work. And then was at a veterans hospital in DC, but now they're back in Culver City. Anyways, I took him to a brewery in Venice. So back home in Los Feliz, called it a wrap. Long drive across the city. It took about an hour to get home after I dropped off my last passenger at that bar. Huge thanks to all of you who are giving me comments on Facebook, YouTube, and here on Snapchat. Means a lot, keeps me going forwards. If you really want to be supportive and you don't use Lyft, please download the app using my code that I'm leaving right here. I'll leave it in comments too. That code will get you $50 that you can use towards your first 10 rides on Lyft, and I also get a bonus, so it helps me out. Remember to tip your drivers. Remember to subscribe and like if you're watching this on YouTube. Thanks so much, and see you guys soon.